What's going on, YouTube world? This is your guy Sealz, the man, and I'm so glad to be back. Thank you for coming back and watching my video. It's always a blessing to be able to say that. And on today's video, we're going to talk about the things that you ladies need to let be known. 5 things that you need to let be known to your guy before you start a serious relationship. Because you know, a lot of y'all out there, y'all have a relationship, y'all doing y'all thing, but it ain't serious. It's not serious, right? But when you know this guy is the one, when he knows you are the one, and y'all make this the one conversation, and y'all make an agreement to make both of y'all one, this needs to be made known on your part to him, all right? So I want to break this down in a, how do I put this? You remember back in the day when we used to grow up in school and was taught in school, and back then when we used paper and pencil to write, because nowadays these kids don't even use that. It's all, you know, computers and tablets. It's crazy, man. And you remember back then you used to have a certain format that you will write on this paper, to write stories, to write essays, to write whatever, you know what I mean? You had a name, you had the date, you had sometimes the title, and you had the body, and you had the signature, right? So I'm going to break down these 5 things that y'all need to be, you know, made known to your guy in this format, and how we were taught on how to write these papers, right? Before I start, the first thing I need y'all to do is subscribe, comment, hit me up. And if you got social media, follow me on Sealz the Man on all platforms, all right? Okay, now let's get back to it. And the first thing that should be let known to this guy from you is the name. What's your name? And I'm not just talking about your name. I hope he knows your name well before y'all get into a serious relationship. When I'm saying name, I mean, I need you to let him know who you are, who you truly are, what you are about, what you represent, what you stand for. That is truly what your name is. Your name is what you claim. Who are you? It's not about the letters that makes up the name on that you have on your certificates and your forms and all your drivers. That name doesn't matter. Your name is truly who are you, and you need to let that be known to your guy before you get in a serious relationship. Because first of all, he needs to know who you truly are, and not your dating face. You know how everyone has a dating face? They already have a dating voice. Everyone is perfect in the beginning. They just want to seem perfect to their guy or girl, but they're not showing their true selves. He needs to know who you truly are, and that is your name. That is the name portion of the things that you need to let be known to this guy. The second thing that you need to let be known, but also the second thing that you used to write on your papers in school, was the date. The date symbolizes what time you're on. You gotta let him know what time you on and what you got planned for your present and your future, and how y'all are gonna utilize each other's time. What are y'all doing with this time with each other? The date on papers represents time. This is very important because he needs to know and you need to know, so that y'all don't waste each other's time. Because yo, you can really like someone. You can really like a person. You can maybe even, you know, fall in infatuation, fall in love with someone. But y'all, if y'all not on the same time, then y'all two won't work, because y'all want 2 different things. Y'all on 2 different time zones. Y'all not even in the same stratosphere. But this conversation has to be made before you get into a serious relationship, so y'all can know if y'all on the same waves, because if not, y'all gonna waste each other's time. He needs to know like what you're doing with your life right now, what you're doing with your present time, so he can be able to you know, be compatible with it, to be able to work with it, because the now is the now, right? We need to work on the now before we can get to the future. And once y'all talk about the now, then y'all can talk about the future. If that conversation is never made, then that can set problems for the future of y'all relationship. The next thing on a paper that when we were in school, when the teacher had us writing, you know, stories and essays and stuff, after the name and the date, the title and the body. And what is the purpose of the title and the body? That consists of the most words in the whole paper. But coincidentally, when it comes to establishing things before you get into serious relationships, words do not matter as much as action does. The title and the body represents action. Even though the title and the body consists of the most words in the paper, it is flipped when it comes to serious relationships because we need action. She needs to see action. He needs to see action, not just words. You see a whole bunch of relationships out here consisting of words, consisting of a body of sentences and words and no meat in between, no action, no proof, nothing, just words. And what happens? They fail. If you want your relationship to be serious, you need to show proof of your work. He and or she needs to see you in work. They need to see you not only just talk, but be about your word and not just be a body of words. And this might be the most important part. If a relationship resembled or symbolized by this paper, this part might be the most essential part of the relationship, of the paper, because this is proof of work. We don't need words. We're past that. The words were used to get me. The words were used to get you in that dating phase, in that courting phase. You say all the sweet things and make her, But now when it comes to being a serious relationship, those words could jump out the window. I need to see action. And what is the next thing that we write on a paper when we were in school and we were done with the name and the date and the title and the body? Now we're at the end. We're at the conclusion. What's the next thing? The signature. The signature represents that you stand on your word. The signature is the stamp. The signature does not change. The signature is the end all be all. It is like the period in the sentence. Once that period is placed, that's it. On to the next thing. The signature is just that. When I put my signature on something, that is it. The foot, the anchor of this whole thing. The signature is the anchor of the paper. The signature, in this case, is the anchor of the relationship. I stand on my word. My word is my bond. The signature represents that. It represents the bond that you have with your word. It also represents the vision of your goal, because once again, the signature represents the conclusion. What is your goal? What is your end goal with us? What are we striving for? And another thing about the signature is that it's unshakable. It's immovable. That's it. This is my signature. So once I give you my word, once I give you my goal, those things are not debatable. Those things are not changeable. I am serious about this end goal, this conclusion. This signature represents that. So I hope y'all like my comparisons, because y'all know I like comparisons. If your relationship was a paper, an essay, a thesis, but you want to transfer from a relationship to a serious and beyond situation, then these 5 things must be on your paper. And if the paper represents your relationship, these 5 things must be established before you get to that point. Otherwise, you're going to end up wasting your time, most likely. You're going to end up creating confusion for not just you, but for him too. And this will bring clarity to both of y'all. If this is what y'all want. I'm all about being as stressless, as stress-free as possible. So everything I talk about in my videos is about just that. I don't try to make it too complex. I don't try to make it like rocket science, because it's not. And when I say these things, I don't want y'all to just regurgitate them to them. Like, all right, before we get serious, I need you to know these things. It has to be natural. These things should be sought after during the courting and the dating and whatever y'all doing phase. But if it hasn't been, before y'all get serious, you need to find the answers to these 5 things, all right? So hopefully this video will help. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope y'all enjoyed my comparison, because like I said, man, these kids don't even write on papers no more. I remember one time my teacher told me, you need to learn cursive before you go to college, because if you don't, you will fail. And guess what? I went to college. That was the first year, the first beginning of that era, that technology era, where you didn't even write anything down now. Everything was typed. Everything was on tablet. So I always thought about my teacher, like, man, you made me learn cursive, and I never used it ever. I still don't use it. The only thing I use it on is my signature, but My signature not even cursive, it's just me being artsy with it, right? But anyway, hope y'all enjoyed that little story about me. But I hope y'all enjoy y'all day. Thank you for watching, thank you for coming back, and I look forward to seeing y'all next time. Peace and blessings, goodbye.